You got messy hair too. Look at that thing stick up. Look at that thing sticking
It's
up.
a curl.
Look at that thing.
It's a
Don't be
curl.
talking about my hair.
It's a wave, more like it. I don't really have a curl. Oh, look, I got a notification. I was in the middle of
Ooh.
watching something.
Yeah. Well, you know, it happens.
Where's this alligator from? You
Today.
saw a gator today?
Yeah, today at work. That's like an 8 or 9 footer. They were telling me.
Holy
They were
cow.
telling me about it, so I ran over. That was to the other side.
Yeah, that's by the front building,
Yeah.
right?
And then my last picture, I wanted to get
So
closer.
you just literally chased a gator around?
Well, I went inside for the last picture.
Do
You
you
could
know
see.
how dangerous that
What are
is?
you talking about?
He could have came around and snapped you. People are talking and
Oh,
I'm not
hello.
even paying attention.
Kansas City, hello.
Hello.
I missed everybody on. Lisa was talking about the alligator that I was chasing today at work. Hello, everybody. Hello. Oh, my hair. My hair
I
is.
told you, your
My
hair
hair
is
is
a
a mess.
mess.
Let me
It's like
let me fix this real quick.
crazy.
Let me
crazy.
fix that real quick.
Wait, I gotta share stuff.
Okay.
Hi.
I just woke up. My hair, this nap.
He's grumpy.
This is nap Tony.
He woke up from a nap and he's been grumpy ever since. I can't read that far away. Hello, hello. I'm still sharing because I was too caught up on Tony's post to the group about the alligator. We are live. How's everyone doing? Hello. I am so ready for this quarantine to be over.
I fixed my hair.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good job.
Now I look respectable.
You never look respectable.
What are you talking about? I do too.
I do too.
You jerk.
Eh. Alright. Hello, hello. Hope you guys are good too. I mean, we're good in like physical and health sense. I'm just
Lisa zoned out.
I am
yesterday.
going stir crazy. I zoned out yesterday.
Yeah, like I was looking at you and you just had this look like.
I was so like, I'm so over this. I know why we have to do it. I shouldn't even be complaining because I still have a job where I go to work on a regular basis.
My hair's better.
And typically during the week, it wouldn't bother me if I wasn't going anywhere because I was working. But I think for the fact that I can't go anywhere even when I'm off work now, even
It's all
during the
dark in
week,
here.
it's driving me nuts.
I got like the sleepy bag.
Omaha! Anytime I hear about Omaha, Nebraska, I just think of Penny from
Does that help?
The Big Bang Theory. Sure, I didn't think anything was wrong with the lighting,
It's a little dark.
but whatever. So yeah.
Oh wow, you can see the like sleep bags under my eyes. Oh, look
The
at that.
sleep bags.
Yeah. You know when you sleep, you got like
Yeah,
these
yeah, yeah.
bags. You ever like wake up and you look in the mirror and you're like, your face hasn't caught up to your
You
body
look like
yet?
crap.
Like that's what I feel like. My face hasn't caught up to my body yet.
I feel like that, and you know what I've noticed?
Like I look terrible. Like I look like I'm squinting the whole time.
You know
We're gonna
what?
do this, the cool guy thing, until my eyes appear normal.
But you know what I've noticed is, so because we have to wear the mask at work,
Yeah,
when I yawn, my chin comes out from under the mask.
you have a big chin.
No, I think it's I have a small face, so the masks don't work. Like one of my coworkers' friends sewed us a bunch of cloth masks that we now have permission to wear, but over top of the surgical mask. And it's like I didn't even bother wearing it because it doesn't stay up. Like the part that goes around the ears isn't very elasticy, so it doesn't have a lot of pull. So it just like the top of it comes down to like here, which does not. I mean, granted, I know I have a surgical mask underneath, but
Hello, everybody. Tony
Hi.
here, Lisa here. Welcome
did
to
you
Tip
just
of the
cut me
Ears.
off?
I was like, that was a good segment into this thing right now. You know, Tony, I hope
Lakeland,
you're
Polk
hiding
County
a
in
black
the
eye.
house.
No, I'm not holding. I just woke up from a nap and I have these like bags and I'm like squinting. My face hasn't caught up to my body yet, so
Someone's
until
here
they
from-
do, I'm gonna be cool guy Tony and just look like a jerk on
Thank you,
camera.
Isla. That wasn't nice to cut me off.
Oh, it was fine.
But HF Sales is here from Lakeland. and I
Lakeland.
know where that is.
Of course you
I'm
know.
assuming Harry's is closed now.
Yeah.
along with everything else in this world.
Poor Harry's. Oh, I wish they did takeout.
Do
That's
they do takeout?
that's a far drive though
HF
for.
sales? Not really, not from us.
It's like a 40-minute drive.
Better than some other things.
I should probably get there faster since there's no traffic.
There's no traffic. Let me know if Harry's is doing takeout because I have a feeling we're still going to be quarantined for my birthday and I want some good Harry's food.
All right, let's get into this.
I think Harry's is doing takeout, yes! You made my day.
You'd have to call them.
I could call them.
You could call them. All right, guys, let's get into this. So we are talking about the new possible changes that
You look
came out.
so dumb
I
with
know.
sunglasses
I
on.
I look like what do they call those people? Those I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know the word I'm looking for. Like I said, I just woke up. So I have bags under my eyes. That's why I'm just wearing the glasses, just temporary, till my face catches up to my body. Possible Disney news that just came out, I guess, what was it, yesterday? 2 days ago, something like that. Bob Iger spoke out.
Iger?
And I don't know why Bob Iger spoke out in an interview. Why wasn't it Chapek?
Well, Iger hasn't officially retired yet. He's now what, chairperson or something like that?
He's ex-CEO. Effective immediately.
Yeah, he's
before.
not CEO, but he hasn't fully retired. He like went down to like chairperson of something so that he could help Chapek transition.
I think Chapek should have took the interview just to see how well he would handle things. But we didn't get Chapek talking because I thought that would have been a good laugh if we did. So we got Bob Iger. And Bob was talking about some possible changes that could take place just coming out of the virus of what...
The virus?
Yeah. You know, the thing we do not speak of, his name or their name. What's that thing from Harry Potter? The thing we don't speak their name?
No, he who must not be named.
He who must not be named. Anyways, he spoke in an interview talking about how there would be, to sum up, I'm not going to read the interview, that there is possibility.
Voldemort.
Yeah,
Can we call that virus Voldemort?
Sure, if you want. Talking about the possibility of temperature checks coming in before coming into the parks.
So, can I interject?
We're gonna talk about everything. You can interject. I'm gonna interject.
Well, I don't know. You cut me off last time I started talking.
Lisa, I got a pillow next to me. No, go ahead.
Now I have it.
Interject.
I can whack you with the kindness pillow again. So, at our job, they just recently started, actually, as of yesterday, they just started taking our temperatures when we go into work. And they're doing it with the temporal thermometer, which I have a feeling if Disney goes the route of taking temperatures, they're going to do that because it's quick and easy and you don't have to constantly throw stuff out. It's, you know, take the little plastic thing off and you move on to the next one. However, I don't find that those temporal thermometers are very accurate. And the other thing with it being the temporal thermometer and it going across your forehead is, you know, when we get into these hotter months, it's already getting hot here in Florida. We're having 90-degree weather down here. So come June, July, August, when like real feel is going to be well over 100, doing that temporal check, I feel like it's not going to be it's going to be hot and therefore given very good temperature reading. I mean, I get why people are doing it. I get why our job's doing it. I mean, to stand there and wait for everyone to take the regular thermometer under the tongue is going to take up too much time. But that's just my feeling on the matter. I would assume a lot of jobs do it where that if your temperature is 100 degrees or above, you're not supposed to come into work. And now that they're checking temperatures, it's the same thing. But if your temperature is 100 degrees or above, now you have to stand aside, call your supervisor, tell them you can't come to work, and wait for further instructions on when you can return to work. I would assume that Disney would kind of do it like most other businesses and companies, that at 100 degrees, that is the cutoff point of, okay, now you can't come in the park, if they decide to go the temperature route of checking people's temperature.
Yeah. I agree. Those, well, with that, you know, Bob Iger saying temperature checks, and this could slow down
Did get sunburn a little bit, Robert.
This could slow down, people from getting into the park and make things a lot slower. This would still continue with the normal bag check. Um, as Lisa did say, with the, what do we call that?
Temporal.
Temporal. I don't know what the names of these things are. They are not accurate. They give you kind of like a roundabout, of what your body temperature is.
Can I give an example? So like when you passed out at work and I took you to the urgent care, they did the temporal thermometer and your temperature was like a 97.6, like something below the normal. And then we went on to describe like what happened at work. And then they're like, oh, let's do like the one under the tongue. In which case you still didn't have a fever, but now it was like a 98.6. So there was like a 5 to 10 degree difference there. So that could mean the difference between someone being allowed to enter the park when maybe they shouldn't have been, or someone being told that they can't come into the park when they should have been. I don't know.
So pretty much you can already tell how this is going to go this live. We're giving you pretty much what has been said by Bob Iger, and we're talking about weighing in our opinions. That's where we're going with here.
And
so now I want to ask this. With the temporal. I'm just going to call it the head check because I'm not going to keep trying to remember temporal. With the head check of the temperatures. Now, or do you think they'll just do it at the parks? Do you think this will also go at the resorts? Do you think with that it will go by those who coming on vacation will have to get the head check at Magical Express? Do you think before that they'll have to get it as soon as they get off the airplane?
And the other thing too is Sarah commented on this and said, what about the people that are contagious that don't have a temperature? And that's true. I was actually watching the Bee Bunch during their live. I think they actually are still alive. But Mary brought this up too, is like, you could go into a grocery store, you could catch the virus, and you could feel completely fine for 2 weeks. But during those 2 weeks, you could have gone to Disney. You could have given the virus to other people. I mean, there are people that are carrying it that don't even know it because they're not showing any of the symptoms. So even with the temperature, you could be allowing people in that are carrying it because they feel completely fine. They don't even know they have it or that they're carrying it. So that's another issue. But yeah, also what you're saying is, at what point do they start checking temperatures? Because, okay, let's say Disney's doing it, but just like you said, what if the airport's not checking it and someone's flown down here on vacation and now they're not allowed to enter the park? Or what if they get to the resort and that's where they check the temperature and they're not allowed to enter the resort? Where are these people going to go? Hospitals aren't just going to like admit all these tourists because they have a fever.
So I want to give a possible scenario that could happen. I don't know. We won't know until they give further. My eyes are catching back up now. Don't have the bags too much. A possible scenario of what could happen. Now this, I'm not saying this is going to happen because we have to wait further details on this from Bob Iger or the Disney company. So let's say you're flying in on vacation. You're flying to Florida, right? You're staying at All-Star Sports, let's just say. So could it be possible that you get checked as soon as you get off the airplane? Okay, that's one. You're going to take Magical Express. You're going to get checked at Magical Express. When you get to the hotel, your hotel, could you get checked there? I'm at 3 already. You get checked, you're fine. Oh, I'm going to go to Magic Kingdom. You're checked at Magic Kingdom. We're at 4. You have a park hopper, so you're like, oh, let's go over to Epcot. You're checked to number 5. Okay, we got a little time to kill. Let's make our dinner reservation at the Polynesian, somewhere. Now you're checked number 6. Okay, the night's coming to an end. Let's go back to our hotel. You're checked number 7 for your temperature. Is this possible how it could go?
You're going to get checked everywhere you go. And again, for those asymptomatic people, you've now gone to...
Oh, this is also in and out of the heat. In the summertime, Florida is like 90-some, but it has the humidity of 105, 110. With that as well, your probably blood pressure is going to raise a lot because you're running to fast passes, things like that. So you're raising blood pressure, which would make your body temperature, your body heat raise up as well. So where do you put how do you distinguish all of this?
Yeah.
To say, okay, you don't have a
And-
temperature because you've been running. I can see you're sweating. You
People-
probably ran over here, so you're fine.
And people
How
are
does this work?
commenting, oh, people
How
will
does it
just
work?
take Tylenol, and that's great and all, but that's also being a little reckless. Like, if you know you're sick, you shouldn't be traveling.
You shouldn't be out anyways. But
people spend a lot of time and money to plan these Disney vacations if they're sick, or if they're not like on their deathbed or need to be hospitalized. I can definitely see people still coming down, in which case I could see that happening. People are just gonna pop some Tylenol to bring their temperature down, but that's not gonna take away the virus. You're still gonna spread it to other people.
Yeah.
Someone else said that they don't think that they're going to do temperature checks, that it's just not feasible. I wouldn't say it's not feasible.
I think it is feasible. It's just I think it's gonna make a lot of people upset because they're not getting into the park right away.
But if they do the temporal thermometer, that takes all but 5 seconds.
5 seconds to do.
So 5 extra seconds of your time to get through the security thing. They're gonna put this thing on your head. They're gonna wipe it across down to pretty much your ear, and it beeps out the temperature right there. Like, it's not like you have to stand and wait for the temperature to
And then
go
they
down.
just do like a quick 2-3 second of a sanitizer wipe, and then on to the next person. But now I still want to talk about the checks going into the park. Now, you're going to still have your bag check, right? And then you're going to have your temporal, possibly. Do you think Disney should eliminate
all over everyone's sweaty
Do
head.
you think they should eliminate the security putting their hands in everybody's bags and touching things?
But they already have gloves on. But again, this is what also grosses me out.
But here's the thing.
I see people going to the grocery stores or just out and about, gas stations, whatever, and they have gloves on. And I get it, that's fine. But you are touching everything with your gloves, and therefore you are contaminating everything you've touched. So you've gone from the raw meat to now you're touching your cleaning products, and now you're touching your produce, and then you're gonna put it on the belt, and now the cashier, who's also wearing gloves, who's probably been wearing the same gloves that they've been wearing all day, everything is contaminated.
So
people think just because they're wearing gloves that keeps them safe. You've contaminated everything you've touched.
So this goes back to my original question. What do you think, Lisa?
What?
Do you think?
About what?
Should the security stop putting their hands in everybody's bags?
They need to go to, well, I've been saying this since forever.
I know what you're going to say, but before you say it, I want to say this. I know exactly what you're going to say, and I agree with you. Because I don't think it is feasible, and it's going to be a lot of money because they'd have to buy so many. For each bag, security takes off their gloves, throw it away, put a new pair of gloves on. Okay, come through. Let me check your bags. All right, you're good. Throw away. Hold on, let me get my gloves back. Going through glove per person. That is just not.
It's not
feasible for them to do.
Well, I mean, it's feasible, but it's just going to be a lot of
That's a lot of
time
money,
consumption and money
Oh my
to
God.
keep gloves stocked and in all different sizes because everyone has different size hands. What I was going to say, though, is they need to go and do it how Universal does. Universal does it like an airport. The security guards are not putting their hands in your bag. You are putting your bags in in the bin, on the belt. It goes through the scanner just like it does at an airport. That prevents people from having to go through and touch everything. That would be a better, because at least
I think how they should do it, they should do it exactly like TSA, like Universal. I would, but I don't think that's going to happen right now. It should happen, but I think that would be the best thing to do. Before you go to the belt, you're up in line, they say, next, do your little temporal head thing, take 5 seconds. All right, you're good, temperature's fine. Put your bags and everything on the belt, everything out of your pocket, walk through the little scanner, make sure the thing doesn't go off. It does. All right, you're good to go. Put your stuff back on, you're ready to go. I think that would be the best solution. Head scan first, put everything on a belt, like you would, TSA, Universal, and just go through the scanner, and then you're on through your day. It is going to take a lot longer to get into these parks. I hope people know that.
Yes,
That-
head temperature is very inaccurate, B-Bunch.
they are
The
very
other thing
inaccurate.
you mentioned is the thing going across everyone's sweaty heads. It has a plastic covering that you
Plas-
take off the
they rip
plastic,
it.
and it's like different layers of plastic. So now it's ready already for the next one.
Yeah, it's a simple like
It's
peel
not
off and
going to
go.
touch everyone's sweaty heads.
No, it doesn't work that way. And even if they did, they would normally, I've seen people do, just take little, like the alcohol tablet, you know, the rubbing alcohol tablet, the paper cloth thing.
Swab.
The swab, and just,
The tablet is like a pill.
yeah, like the 3-second swab, and then it's done. It's ready to go to the next. It's sterilized. So with that, like, I want to know is where does Disney start to do that? That was my initial question. Where do you guys think it should start? Should it go by how I said with my hypothetical day? Because that's already seven checks in
Well,
a day.
I mean, if you think about it, that's 7 checks you would have had to do anyway for baggage check. Almost. I mean, they don't typically do baggage check when you get to a resort, but you have to do baggage check when you get to Magic Kingdom. And then you're going to hop on the monorail and you're going to go to Epcot and you're going to get your bag checked there. And then you're going to hop on the monorail and go to Polynesian. You're not necessarily going to get your bag checked at Polynesian, but you're probably going to get back on the monorail to either go to Magic Kingdom or TTC or wherever to get your ride back to your resort, because you were only going to Polynesian for dinner. You're now going to get bag checked to get on the monorail. So you might not have had 7 right there, but you would have still had multiple times that you would have had your bag checked. So are those multiple times going to be the same thing with the temperature checks if they go that route?
Let's talk about Florida residents. Where do we start and stop with them? You know, for us. What do you think, Lisa? Do you think we'll just only get checked at the park? Or do you see us getting checked before the parking lot? Right there's the convenient U-turn.
Yeah, but that's going to be difficult for the ticket person, like the person that's taking payments for the parking or, you know, scanning your Magic Band for us annual pass holders to then like lean through your car window
I'm just,
to take because you have to think it's not just gonna, yeah, for us it's just the 2 of us, but then you have people that, you have locals that are pass holders that also have their kids. You're going to have them reach in
I don't know.
through the
I'm
back.
thinking
No,
of
I think if anything, if they do the temperature check, it's gonna be where the baggage check is. And if you're not allowed in, then get back in your car and go home.
And I do want to point this out too. Now this, I'd want to mention the Diz Unplugged because I want people to realize this as well. If for some reason, let's say this head check goes in and you come down and you know you have 100-degree fever and they say you can't come in, I can see, as Diz Unplugged has mentioned, I just want to point this out, that some people will start waiving their rights. You know what I mean? That you can't kick me out or stop me from coming. Disney is privately owned. You know what I mean? So they can enforce whatever law that they want.
Well, not law, but
Rule on their property. And I just want to put that out there for those who may not know.
I can also see people that, and I'm talking about non-annual pass holders, because annual pass holders, I'm going to be upset if they tell me I can't come in, but like the amount of times I go throughout the year is going to make up for, you know, one day that I might show up.
But I'm just thinking,
non-pass holders, if they come down and they get to the park and they're told that they can't enter, I guarantee you that either, well, the line for guest relations may not be long because they're not going to be allowed to enter the park, but the customer service line is going to be backed up because people are going to be demanding their money back. If you're not going to let me in, then give me my money back for that day's worth of tickets.
Do you think with that, because Disney, in my opinion, is not going to be saying, all right, yeah, no problem, let me give you your money back right away. I can see, and I don't know if this is possible, do you think before they start refunding, if you hit 100-degree temperature, will they put you over into another line that gives you a second check? Because here in Florida, we have tests that we can get back results for COVID within 15 minutes. Do you think they would actually then test you as a second or just say, no, you can't come in? I mean, that's hard. That's hard to actually say.
Yeah, I don't know. Are they gonna turn you around right away, or are they gonna have you go stand to the side and where you're gonna maybe get a questionnaire, kind of like what we do at work? You know, do you have a cough, fever, shortness of breath. You know,
And then
go
maybe
through
take an
that
actual
questionnaire.
temperature, a legit one.
I don't know what they're gonna do, and so I guess my thing is, as much as I want the theme parks in general to open, so Disney, Universal, I want them to open. I don't necessarily want them to open too soon where we're either gonna restart a pandemic because you opened it too soon, or you're gonna do this where, like Matt was saying in their live vlog from the Bee Bunch, like, if you're not gonna have the people traveling because they're still afraid of the virus, but now you're paying your cast members because you open the park, even if it is like a phased opening, now you're paying these people that with no visitors, or the locals are going to be there, but like most locals, we don't spend money at the parks. Well, not like the non-locals do.
Do you think, now this is a hypothetical, this isn't what's going on, this is just a hypothetical. When Disney reopens, when they do, when and if they do, and do you think they'll do a test run and just invite the locals first to see how it goes? Or do you think it's like, hey, we're open, visitors, locals, everybody?
Well,
do you think they'll do a test run? Let's test it out.
I don't think they're going to open it in one big shot. Like, I'm looking at it as Shanghai. Shanghai did not open it, did not be like, all right, Shanghai Disneyland's completely back open. Like, they open it, they're opening it in phases. I don't even think it's fully open yet. Like, I definitely think it's going to be open in phases. In which case, I don't even necessarily think that they would necessarily have to say, okay, it's just locals, because I'm thinking back to when we lived in PA and we would come down for vacation. I'm not going to spend all this money for a Disney vacation if I can't experience all of Disney. You know, like, am I only coming down to be able to get into a few shops, maybe a few restaurants? No, I'm not going to spend my money for that. I'm going to wait till it's fully open, in which case I think you're just by fault going to have more locals trying it out because, hey, we're allowed back in Disney. Let's see what...
Well, according to Disney, now that it's not 100%, but you get the kind of idea that they're trying to open by June 1st as a result of you are able to book a hotel on June 1st. If you go onto DisneyWorld.com right now, and we're trying to book a hotel room from now to whatever, it's not available. The availability starts June 1st. So that's, I feel, is what they're projecting, the June 1st thing.
But that could always change.
Could always change. So let's say June 1st is on track still, and okay, we're gonna do that. Do I may think, a week before that you might see an email for pass holders or for local residents to be like, hey, come down for, I don't know. I'm guessing.
Are they going to give us window times? Like, you're allowed in the park from like 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. because they don't have a full park open, so it's not like you need a full day. And let's see, like, I don't know.
Is there any, I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure that the capacity is going to change because they're not going to want...
Well, I would think if
we may not have the 6 feet distance anymore, but I don't think that they're going to want to pack the park right away. I guess what my thought process is, I think things are going to start opening up before the virus is completely gone. I think they're going to start opening things up as things trend down. So even though it's trending down, there's still the virus. I think if they open it up and they put it at full capacity, you're just going to restart the pandemic. So I guess what I'm thinking is
I think phase 1 is Disney Springs.
I don't think they're necessarily going to have the whole 6 feet rule, but they're not going to necessarily allow so many people into an area.
Do you think they'll do what Walmart is doing right now? Let one person in, so like one from each kiosk, wait till they get 1,000 square feet ahead of you, and then let another person in?
I haven't been to Walmart.
Well, that's what they're doing here in Florida. They're doing a line, you line up, and they're letting one person in, and once they get 1,000 square feet ahead of you, that person that's standing waiting, they let that person in.
Well, what about all the people that are standing in line to get in?
Well,
are they 6 feet apart?
I think I haven't been to all, but I think somebody told me that they are taped off.
Just like everything else right now, there's all this tape.
Do you see Disney doing that? Like one, so like one person from each of the thing, from the turnstile go in and
But
then
you're
wait.
not gonna.
I don't know. I don't
guess
know.
my thing is like, and
You don't know.
I'm thinking of even like, well, any of the Disney park entrances, like if we still have to stand 6 feet apart come the time that the park is opening, or if that's still what Disney wants to implement, I mean, you're gonna have to find some way to work traffic around this line of people, because you're still gonna have, let's say, 100 people, and that's lowballing it, but like 100 people that each need to stand 6 feet away from each other. Now you need 600 feet of walk space, and that's just for one line.
Well, I think more that will go with the distancing will not be so much the park itself, the free range walking of the park. I think it's going to be more your actual rides, which I think they might go old school and do the little clicker thing and may let only like 25, 30 people into the queue. And then, wait a couple minutes. I don't know.
I'm just talking about the entrance to the park. Like what you're saying with the kiosk to scan your band, like you need a lot of space then to cover the people that you have in line waiting to get in the park, that you're still wanting to separate them. Maybe not 6 feet, but because again, I'm hoping that by the time the parks reopen, that the 6 feet rule isn't necessarily in effect. We're still not going to want to have like a large group of people in a small space either.
Even if the 6 foot rule isn't in effect, do you think people would still want to be 6 feet away from other people?
Well, that's true too.
When things go back to normal, are they really going? And I'm not talking about just Disney, life in general. When things go back to normal, or try to, are we as people going to go back to normal?
So,
are you going to go meet your buddies at Disney and be like, "Hey, buddy," and put your arm around them and be like, "Let's go enjoy, this and that"? Or are you gonna, "Hey, buddy," and maintain a little distance?
Hey,
let's go here. It's kind of interesting, and there's no right or wrong answer.
Jason from Pendaflow brought up a good point. Obviously, the 6 foot rule needs to be withdrawn from by CDC for the parks to open.
Orange County needs to drop the stay-at-home order, and the CDC needs to go away from the. Hey, we just got something for Catherine. I missed it. Was it Catherine?
What?
The elevator?
Oh, yeah, 10 euros. I don't know what that is.
You didn't have to do that. Thank you so much.
What's that equivalent to an American?
I don't know. I'm not good with that stuff. I'm gonna grab more tea as you ponder.
Not really good with the whole.
I'm gonna grab some more tea, but I guess I want you to ponder that. Do you think even with?
And I want to answer someone else's question while you're getting.
Okay, you answer, and I'll grab more tea.
Lauren said, "What about character meet and greets?" I do not
Mask, yes, maybe.
I was getting to that.
I'm sorry.
I don't think character meet and greets are going to be all up and running right at the. I don't really know, but my thought process is that character meet and greets are not going to be up and running when the parks first reopen. Maybe for masked characters, because they're already going to have that barrier between them and the guests, but I don't think your princesses are going to be out doing meet and greets right away. 10 euros is almost 10. Oh, so it's pretty equivalent. Thanks.
Thank you. You don't have to do that.
I had no idea.
We'll have to give that back to you. Thank you so much. I also wonder.
Oh, I know which of the Bee Bunch people is commenting, because clearly it's Matt saying, "I am enjoying all these social boundaries. Hope it changes forever," because that's totally a Matt thing.
Oh yeah. I also think. I think as soon as opening day, you're going to see new merch hit, and I guess I'm going to tell you, I was talking to Jason from Pendaflow in a joking way, but we're pretty sure this is going to happen. First new merchandise to hit at Disney right when you walk in, Mickey face masks, $14.99.
$14.99.
I think it's going to be mandatory. I think Disney is going to put a mandatory face mask for a little while if you enter their park. Is not a joke. Okay. I truly think that.
This is my thought.
Mandatory.
I'm so used to wearing a mask right now because I wear one at work. So I'm wearing it 8 hours a day. Yes, 8, because I'm technically scheduled 8.5. So that already took off my half-hour lunch break. 8 hours a day I'm wearing this mask. I'm used to it, but I'm in an air-conditioned building when I'm wearing it. I don't want to be out at the park in like even June, July heat. August is going to be the worst, but like June, July heat, when it feels like it's well over 100, I'm going to be sweating in that thing. One, it's going to get itchy. I'm already starting to get itchy behind my ears from having to wear the mask 8 hours a day. Like it's going to get itchy on my face. It's going to get so uncomfortable. I'm going to feel like I can't breathe. How many masks are they going to allot each guest?
And which masks are they going to use?
Oh, they're not using the N95 mask.
Too expensive.
They're using the surgical mask.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean?
I work at a hospital and I'm told that I'm just supposed to wear a surgical mask. So I guarantee you it's going to be the surgical mask that they're going to have people wear.
Now,
but how many masks are you going to allot each guest?
Here's the thing. I wear a mask at work. I work at the same medical place that Lisa does. I have to wear a mask just like she does. Now, she's walking around 8 hours a day in a mask. I'm a little bit different. I'm working around heat all day for 8 hours, like heat. And I can tell you from my standpoint, I can go 20 minutes to a half hour before I have to pull my face mask down in my surrounded heat areas, before I have to breathe a little bit, get a little air, and then I can good for another 20, 30 minutes.
How do you keep a mask on a kid all day? Yeah, that's true. Like,
now, masks,
how are kids gonna handle that?
Let me tell you too. Now, the masks have a filter, right? Now, she and I are different. She might go through the same mask, which you can. You probably won't. I'm gonna guess. You could have a better insight. For what you do, you could probably get away with 4 to 5 days.
I'm not going 4 to 5 days.
No.
After 3 days, that thing started to smell.
Well, I'm just saying you could possibly go 4 to 5 days with that mask before having to get a new one. In my situation, what I do at work, I can go only 2 days because sweat, you get your filter wet, so sweat.
You're working with grease. And
I'm working
oil.
with grease, oil, and everything else. So just the sweat alone, once the filter gets wet, there's no point of the mask. You might as well just take it off and throw it away. So with the heat of Florida, let's say that beautiful 110-degree feeling
one mask
humidity
is not going to last all day.
No.
And especially because the summer also becomes our rainy season. So not only are you dealing with sweat.
As soon as it gets wet, the filter, you might as well take it off.
So, it's already.
Oh,
like
Lauren. Thank you so much, Lauren.
Mask.
You didn't have to do that. Thank you so much.
Starbucks on me for when the character warehouse is open. Thank you.
Oh, I miss it.
But like the mask, it's already gonna be soiled when you start to sweat. And then when it pours down on you, because that's the thing about the Florida rainy season, it can look bright and sunny and in a matter of seconds it's pouring. So you don't really have all that much time to quick grab out your umbrella. Now your mask is soiled even more. Like, how many masks are they going to allot everybody?
So once again, we're telling you, if you're in a mask and you are just sweating, as soon as that water vapor hits like your filter of your mask, your surgical mask, which is the cheapest to get, well, not right now, but eventually will be the cheapest to get again, the filter's ruined. You might as well just not wear a mask. Now, if it rains and your mask gets a little wet before you get your umbrella, like she said, you might as well take your mask off because the filter is ruined.
And I find this
it's done.
Too, Sarah brought up a good point. She
It's not
said,
gonna
as
help
a
you.
nurse, she was always taught not to wear masks for an extended period of time, and that's what we were always taught too as employees of this medical business.
But now it's like they're changing it.
Well, the reason why they're changing it is because we are low.
Yeah,
So
that's why.
to conserve the amount of masks that we have
Oh,
available.
Chris, Style, thank you.
for-
You didn't need to do that. Thank you so much, though.
At least
Thank
get
you.
Starbucks too. Thank you.
Thank you. You don't have to do that.
But because we're such on a short, we don't have as many masks as we need. They had made, we were going to wear one a day, and then it turned into wear one until it gets soiled. So however many days you can go, but now it's back to one a day. But still, like I'm only allotted one a day, so that's why I have to wear it 8 hours a day. But yeah, that's what I was always told too. You don't wear it for more than 2 to 3 hours. But now because
We're so low.
we're having to do what we have to try to protect ourselves because we're still having to work with the sick people, and then we still have to come home, and you don't want to bring it home. So that's all that.
I guarantee when Disney makes Mickey Mouse face mask, they won't even have a filter on it. It'll just be like a nice little
Mrs. Pendaflow would be worried about the makeup.
You know what I mean? It's not gonna have a filter. I bet you any money those masks that Disney will sell with Mickey's face.
It's just gonna be the cloth one.
It's gonna be the cloth one just for fashion to put over your actual mask, so you don't look like you're just wearing a normal surgical mask for $15.
And I get it. Apparently, the CDC or someone, I don't know if it was CDC,
I think they're all
the
saying
president, or the local, maybe all of them, are now saying like to go out and wear like a cloth mask.
Even if it's a scarf or something, they say.
Which I mean, I get it. It's better than nothing. But the cloth mask, like scarves, there's no filter. You're not
so it doesn't do
anything from coming through that material into your respiratory.
And I will say, men with beards, long beards, you wearing a mask, you might as well not wear the mask either, because the mask is pushed away from your face because of like a beard. You know, for those loving beard growers, that the sickness can go right in underneath your mask because it's not flush against your face. You're leaving a gap. So men who have a beard wearing the mask, you might as well take it off because it's not really doing anything for you because of that gap you're leaving.
PPE training.
I know, that's what we're doing. Apparently this now we're doing a training.
We're now educating on PPE.
We're educating. But I'm not saying get rid of your gnarly beard. It's just one of those things. Don't wear the mask, because if it makes you feel safe, then wear it. But in reality, it's not helping you. You might as well just take it off. But I understand, even if it doesn't, people just feel comfort with that.
I think more of it is a comfort level. And I think maybe...
So then that brings me back with the comfort. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Just real quick. With that comfort, that just brings us right up around a full circle with the Disney thing, with the... What do you call it again?
The temporal.
Temporal.
We're just going to do the head.
Oh, yeah. Head check. Do you guys feel secure and safe with them doing that? Doing that temporal head check. Like, are you okay with it? Or do you think it's not needed? Temporal, whatever.
B-Bud said tempura.
Or do you think it's not needed? That you're okay either way? No right or wrong answer. You know what I mean? No right or wrong. It's just we're talking. Also, which was really funny, that when I was texting Jason for Pen to Flow today, he said also too, I could see it happening. I don't know if Disney would actually do it, but to keep checking your temperature rate, walking throughout the park, he said, just like that, you'll see brand new magic bands that will have a temperature sensor in there to check on your wrist. And I said, yeah, probably going to charge you $47.99. Anything is possible at Disney. You know what I mean? Anything to capitalize on money. Let's be honest. As terrible as that is, let's keep it real. When 9/11 happened, everybody put American flags on every piece of merchandise to sell. You think Disney or any company's not going to do it with this?
What, are they going to do it instead of like let's
be honest.
On opening day, it's going to be like I survived COVID.
Well, they're not going to put the terms on there, but that's the way business works. I'm not knocking any business. I'm not knocking Disney for doing it. It's just I expect to see it. You know what I mean? Because that's how America does things. That's why I said the mask. Disney's going to sell the Mickey mask to put over your face.
You could choose.
I'm just saying.
For like a bunch of different characters, so you can choose which one you want.
You'll see every design in the world.
I'll get a Pocahontas one.
There'll be some that will be Disney bounding ones with color coordination of how to match your favorite Disney princess. Come on, I don't know.
But yeah,
it's possible. So with this, like I said, these are the new news that is coming out. The possible new news that Bob Iger talked about with the temporal temperature
And I
check.
understand he's trying to do
He's trying to do what people want.
well, not necessarily what people want, but he's trying to open the parks and make people feel comfortable
Yeah.
getting in contact with people they don't know that are outside their home, because pretty much the entire country is quarantined right now, where you're not supposed to be hanging out with anybody that doesn't live with you. So like, this is gonna be like the first time people are gonna see people again. And not saying that they're just gonna go up and hug strangers, but you are gonna be in somewhat close proximity to these people. Is that gonna freak you out? So this is what we're gonna do to try to make you feel safe. I don't know.
I understand. It is an attempt to make guests feel safe, and I can't knock Disney for doing that. You know, I expect Universal almost doing this. I expect almost all the theme parks to probably play suit in this. You can't.
Usually what happens, Disney does it, then Universal follows suit, then SeaWorld follows suit.
And I can't knock them. I mean, because when life tries to find a way again, Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park reference.
Life always finds a way, people.
Where
were you going with this?
I don't know. I got sidetracked with Jurassic Park. Oh, that life is, I don't think we are going to go back to normal. I think this is going to be sticking around for a long while. And I mean, not just the virus itself, but how we are still going to social distance from people.
I think it's that fear.
That fear of like, we just don't know yet because there's not a vaccine. You know what I mean? Now, I think once there's a vaccine, I think people will go back to their hugging, putting arms around each shoulders, hanging out.
I agree too.
I don't know. No right or wrong answer.
Yeah,
that's just what I think.
The difference is going to go away, but I don't think everyone's going to be as quick to like go up and hug their friends, or they may go hang out, but they're still going to have like that feeling of needing to be reserved.
Yeah.
I guess.
Somebody just asked, do you think that the characters might get sprayed down, or something along those lines between each guest?
That's a good question.
That is a very good question.
Be if they do the character meet and greets, because you're right. Even if they do the masked characters, because the person inside has a barrier between them and the guest. But obviously, these kids are going to run up to Mickey and Minnie. They want to give them hugs. They give them kisses and all this and that.
That's going to be
interesting. They
interesting.
should have been wiping that stuff down, though, now that I think about it. Just because you have some snotty kid rubbing their face all over Mickey, and then you got the next snotty kid running there.
But sometimes that material, you can't rub something on. It probably has to be a spray. That's an interesting...
But they weren't spraying it before. That's what I mean. It's like, just think about it. They should have always been spraying.
But I wonder. That is a very good question. I don't know. I'm going to say, I think it would be very off-putting to some people after you get a kid... hugs them and then takes a picture, and then a cast member just quickly sprays them down and goes, okay, next.
Well,
I think it's off-putting. I don't know.
That's going to be too expensive, and the alcohol's going to hurt the costumes. And then Randomness said just no touching characters. Like, is that going to be just a new rule that, you can have these character meet and greets, but you can't touch the characters? But honestly, how are you going to stop a 2-year-old from touching them? I mean, especially when the parents are holding them and they're posing for the camera, and the parents are smiling at the camera. They're not seeing that the kid is, playing with Goofy's ear and all this and that. It's going to be hard for a camera person to yell at a 2-year-old that... You tell a 2-year-old right now, even before this whole thing started, don't touch that. What's the first thing they're going to do? They're going to go touch it.
Yeah. I mean, you tell me to don't touch things right now, I want to touch it. One of my biggest things is when I see do not touch on what are those little
red buttons? Like, I want to know what the red button does. I want to know what it does. I want to go touch it.
I want to touch it. That's just, the way it is. I don't know. That's very interesting. I don't know.
Characters stand behind a wall partition. It could be like at the grocery stores where they're having like these big like glass.
Like plexiglass.
Plexiglass. Like, is that how these meet and greets are going to go?
I really don't know how. It's going to be interesting when we get back to Disney. I think that's going to be one of the first things I'm going to look at.
Is like, what do these characters...
What is the meet and greets going to do? And I'm going to participate in them just
to get an idea of
what we're dealing with here.
Like Baby Groot, touch the button.
Touch the button. That's right. With Mickey through the window. Yeah, with Mickey through a window. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting. I think so. Like I said, I think masks may be mandatory. I think for a while. Um,
How
I
are they
think the
going to
hand.
patrol that though?
I don't know. I don't
Like,
know.
okay,
But I
they-
think it might be. But I
They
don't know
give you
how.
a mask.
I know, we're full
maybe
circling
when
back
you
to
first
this.
enter, I know. But like, how are they going to patrol that?
I don't know. And that's a great question for Mrs. Pendaflow. Will they sanitize each ride after a guest? So let's say we're riding Rock and Roller Coaster. We get off, they lift up and say, all right, everybody eggs on your right. Are they going to quick wipe it down or spray it down and then have the cart go? I don't know. That's a very good question, too. It's possible. I don't know. I really don't know on that one. Anything right now is up in the air, and we're not going to know until further details. You know, this is just what we have right now, but that is a very good question.
Mandatory now. What's mandatory?
I missed it. What was mandatory?
I don't know. B Bunch just responded and said they are mandatory now. What's mandatory?
Probably the masks.
Respond to me.
Probably the masks. I don't think too. Maybe quick wipe by cast
Oh,
members.
they have
Maybe.
to wear masks. That's
Yeah.
mandatory.
Yeah. So it might be a quick wipe down. I don't know. It might be. It absolutely could be.
How do you eat there if you have to wear a mask? Well,
You
you take the mask off.
take the mask off, and then you, when you're
Put it
done,
back on.
put it back on.
Same thing I do on my lunch break.
So I think that is possible. That would not surprise me if going to the park, they say, I don't know how they're going to regulate it, you know, to control that. I don't know, but I could see that. That's one thing I would not be disappointed, or would say, you know, I think that is going to happen. The checks everywhere, I'm curious on that, as we stated earlier. You know, is this going to be like every place you go in Disney property, you're going to get checked? Like every place, hotels, restaurants, parks, Disney Springs, you know, monorail systems, like everywhere you go, is this going to be the
Yeah, I'm curious.
the
Like,
head check?
I'm
I don't know.
curious
I don't know.
Too, like, is our job going to stop doing the temperature checks,
Why?
or is this just going to become a new normal?
I don't know.
Like after this pandemic, after it downgrades from a pandemic to an epidemic to like a seasonal thing to whatever, like, are we still gonna need to get it? Like, is that just gonna be a new implemented thing at our job?
It might be until, I don't know. These are probably the new realities that we will see. I don't think that every park will open up at once.
No, I think it'll be a phase.
I think it'll be phased. I think it'll be Disney Springs first. That's just my guess because it's outdoor, just a couple shops here and there and small eateries plus some restaurants. But it's more, you know, not rides. I see that opening up first. Then a park. I think obviously the first park will probably be Magic Kingdom. Epcot, I'm on the
Do
fence.
you think though that Magic Kingdom would open full run? Or
No,
do you think
they
it's
will-
gonna be like, all right, we're gonna open section by section?
I
We're gonna
think
let's open Tomorrowland, and then we'll move into, or maybe they're gonna open up Tomorrowland and Adventureland where they're on opposite sides of the park.
I will say that it'll be a full run. You know, I think they'll just pull every cast member that they have, if that being the only park, like, hey, cast members, if you're, you know, report all to Magic Kingdom, you know what I mean, for
But
the test run.
Then how many people are they gonna allow in?
I don't know. I could tell you I don't think they're going to do the fireworks.
I don't think
For a
they're gonna
while.
do the parades either.
They're not going to do the parades. They're not going to do the fireworks because that's too close quarters for people. For
Yeah,
now.
no
For now.
fireworks. Can't have 50,000 people in
Yeah.
the hub. And the same thing with the parades. I mean, you're packing all those people into
On the
hub.
sidewalks and, you know, anywhere on the sidewalks and the hub. I don't see that happening right away for a while. Maybe next year. I think I'm on the fence if
Someone
Epcot
said
will
it's Animal
actually
Kingdom
open up.
More outdoors to open up earlier than Hollywood Studios. I mean, pretty much everything at Animal Kingdom is outside, except Flight of Passage. I mean, the line starts outside, but goes inside, and Dinosaurs is all inside. But again, though, I guess we're not packing these rides to capacity. How many people are they going to allow on a safari?
I don't know.
Is it going to go by party, that instead of combining parties, like, you know, like when it's the two of us, we'll get paired with another party of two? Like, is it going to be where you're not, no mixing of parties?
I don't know.
Is it going to be that they're going to get rid of the single rider line because we're not mixing parties, that if you're a single rider, then you just
I don't know. As I was trying to say, I don't think I'm on the fence if Epcot will open at all.
why? Because they sent all their cast.
I think one because of all the construction that they
Just keep it
just
closed.
keep it closed and let them work because of being delayed on a lot of things now. If they do open Epcot, the World Showcase won't be open. It will be open for you to walk in the World Showcase, I think, but nothing will be really able to do as because of the cultural people have been let go for right now,
Yeah.
temporarily. So I
And
don't think they're going to
Epcot-
get them all back in time.
Well, because Epcot's cast members, when we're talking specifically about the World Showcase, are from all over the world.
I don't think
Now,
it's enough time to get them all back.
Some of them might have stayed in the country, but like,
Well, they were working very closely with each individual one to get them safely back home.
okay.
That's what I read from. That's what I read in an interview from Bob Chapek.
12 different countries? 11?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
10 because the U.S. is obviously here,
some might live actually here in the
Yeah.
States, but for those who live back home, I'm pretty sure I read for an interview with Bob Chapek and
That they were
other
trying
Disney
to
board
get
that they were
them back.
working with each individual one. That's why they were giving them a little bit longer of a time. You know what I mean? I think till April 15th they have or something like that, till they can
Someone
figure it
said
out, travel.
Parks won't open till schools can be open. Well, I think that's probably true.
I
I
think
think for as long as Florida schools are closed, the theme parks in Florida will be closed.
And it pretty much comes down to one thing. It's not so much the schools. It's going to be one thing that says, okay, and then the schools will follow, the parks will follow, everything else. It's going to come down to Orange County of when they lift the stay at home.
Well, no, because the schools were closed before the stay at home.
But I'm just saying, I think everybody is looking at Orange County as, well, now all of Florida is a stay at home. So I think they're looking for that to be.
I mean, South Florida, like Miami area, they're probably going to be the last counties to fully open back up just because that's one of the hot spots.
And some people,
Florida, but
some people have said, I've read in like Disney boards and things like that not just Disney, but all theme parks, Disney, Universal, SeaWorld, things like that, they should be the last ones to open.
That's a good idea.
Is to let the whole state open back up, but the theme parks remain closed until they said like that should be the last thing to ever open back up. And I don't know. That's an interesting point.
Too, what if they made every ticket a park hopper so people would have the ability to move around from crowds, and that would make Epcot being half open viable? That's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
Are they gonna do it?
I don't know. I think
like, hey, because we are only going to allow so many people in each park, this allows you to enjoy this park and go hop over to that one because we don't want all the crowds just in this one park.
Possible, but they can't charge as much money then. I don't think they can't charge that, $100 some plus the extra $70 to park hop. If anything, I would say, what is it right now? $123 a day?
Randomness, though, responded, then more people would be going. Not a good idea.
I would say, what is it, $123 a day now? Rough estimated?
Well, I don't know. They're kind of going at it. If let's say they opened up this week, if we're going by airport things, it's going to be way less than that.
Let's say $125. Let's just keep it easy. $125 we'll say a day.
Ashlyn says $135.
$135. Okay, $135. I would think then that $135 would be the park hopper. Let's just say, not add the extra. Let's just say, because they have to get people back in. So I think they're going to lower the price of admission, not a lot.
But
I think they'll lower it.
You and I have been talking about this pretty much since the parks closed and since it extended from just 2 weeks. I do think that there's going to be a drop in ticket prices to try to get people back in. I don't think those ticket prices are going to stay low. I think once they start getting the money back in, they're going to pop it right back up.
I think you'll see maybe 10 to 15% off, like kind of, your tax, and you'll be saved in other things maybe. Maybe you had 15%. I think, instead of 135, it might only be like $99 for a day. If they wanted to, as Jason was saying, that idea to move people around, with the park hopper, I would say put that at the 135.
Well, and I
That
would
park
say
hop
too,
for now. It's not going to last.
if we're not going
but
to do fireworks right away, then I could see the parks closing earlier.
yes, I think.
I don't think they're going to be open
Oh, no.
till 9, 10 o'clock
I
at
don't
night.
think so. I think there'll be like an 8 to 8 type of deal, maybe. They're not going to be open way late. I don't think Disney Springs will stay open till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I think that'll be like we're done at 11, maybe 12.
Yeah.
It's sort of like what we talked about, like things around here outside. It could be bars, it could be restaurants, those places that are open. Like come in for happy hour at Applebee's or something. We're open till 2 a.m. I don't see that happening. Bars open till 2. Everybody has to get out by 2 a.m., 3 a.m. No, everybody out by midnight. I see that happening for a while. I think everybody's going to be on these regulated, new adjusted hours, and I think Disney will be the same. I could see them running across the board, all parks 8 to 8. 8 to 8.
I could see it even end closing earlier. Like I could see them running it almost like the water parks where they close at 5, 6 o'clock.
Could be.
They're not doing fireworks. They don't need people.
Or just saying, hey, parks close at dusk.
Yeah.
Parks close at dusk.
And then they have
and that
cast
could be
members that
between
are there
six,
to sanitize everything.
Between 6 and 8, depending on what year what season we're in or months. I can see it. Close at dusk. I don't know.
What is the minimum number of guests needed for them to turn a profit?
I don't know. I don't know those numbers.
Well, no, because B Bunch just said you're not thinking of the minimum amount of guests needed for them to turn a profit. But what is that minimum number of guests? I mean, I know you don't have the answer, but like a roundabout estimate, what would be the minimum number of guests they would need to make profit now?
Yeah.
Because like you mentioned in your live vlog, you're going to be paying these cast members to work at the park. So yeah, you do need enough guests to come in to not only pay those cast members, but now to turn around and make a profit.
I don't know. How many tickets do you need to sell to get into the park to break even to pay all your cast members? I don't know. I don't have those numbers. I don't know those numbers. I don't work for Disney. I don't know anybody high up in Disney to ask, a roundabout for that.
Texting you, dog. I'll be looking forward to the text.
I have an idea. I'll be texting you, dog. It's funny. I think there's, like I said, we don't have all these. This whole thing is
5 guests would make a profit.
Yeah, right. We don't have the answers to all this stuff. This whole thing for those who've just been turning in like halfway through this.
Halfway through, we've been at it for an hour.
Well, I'm just saying, people just come random times. You know what I mean, in it. We're just guessing here of what could be happening. We're just talking about the possibility of what Iger said, with the mask and
annual pass holders.
Now we're just thinking about everything,
Annual pass holders will still show up, but we're not the money makers.
No, we're not.
We're not spending money on the merchandise at the park.
This isn't California.
We're not.
This isn't Disneyland
and
where that's a
we're not
local.
even spending money to eat at the parks. A lot of us are eating at home or going somewhere else to eat, like Sweet Tomatoes. By the way, we need to do that again. And then we go to the parks because we don't want to spend Disney prices on food. Like, we're not the vacationers that are coming down and like, we've saved up money and put money aside for the merchandise, for the food, because we're on Disney vacation. That's what we do. Mary's excited now.
Yeah, we're not Disneyland. California, that's a local park. So they make their money. We are the cash cow here at Disney World.
You two are really tanned. I'm actually more like sunburned.
I'm.
It's turning into
do you see that? You said like split dip. That's working in landscaping. I don't know.
Yeah, we've been redoing our flower beds outside.
Yeah. But here at Disney World, they make their money off the tourists, not the locals. So, I mean, if it was California, yeah.
But I do see when they first open, I could see it where it's a Florida residents thing for a few weeks. One, because I don't see people spending the money to come down if the parks aren't fully open. But two, just we're kind of going to be used as the guinea pigs. And as local pass holders, I guarantee you a lot of us are going to be more than willing to go and be guinea pigs.
This is my true opinion to you guys. For those who aren't locals, for those who aren't pass holders, for those just wanting to reschedule your Disney vacation that might have been canceled. This is an honest, true opinion. I would say, let's say hypothetically, they opened June 1st. Okay, let's just say that is the date. I don't think that it is worth your time and your money to come down this year. Because let them figure it all out. Go through these phases, making sure that nobody's, that the virus is away, or people aren't building any cases. I say, in my opinion, save your money, come down next year, because that's the 50th. Speaking of the 50th, do you think the 50th is going to be put off a little bit?
I don't know, but can I make a comment?
Hold on.
Or a rebuttal?
But next year is supposed to have all the better stuff. 50th. Tron, the coasters, everything should be up and running, unless, they got set back because of this whole thing. That's a possibility too. But I think your best interest may be that. Lisa could be wrong, might have that opinion. I don't know. I'm taking guesses as just what I think.
I don't think that you're wasting your money.
I wouldn't say waste.
You have a trip booked.
I didn't mean waste.
The whole, for the rest of the year. I am skeptical about June, which upsets me because that's my birthday and I always spend my birthday at Animal Kingdom.
I've been telling people book November, September, October, November.
I would say starting September, October, I wouldn't say we're back to normal.
No, I don't think so.
But
we're not back to normal.
I think we'll be back. I'm hopefully by then, that we're back at a time where we're not we have this virus under control. Maybe we'll have a vaccine that will be due to come out, whatever, what have you. But that will at least be back to, we're not stuck in our houses, that we are free to go out and do things, whether going to parks, whether going to movie theaters, whatever, that we have the freedom to go do things outside of our house. So I'm hoping, I would say September, October, so on. I think you're safe.
Somebody,
for now.
2 questions I just saw coming up here. I forget who said it, but one was, do you think the parks will be open in late November?
I think
so. I mean, that's what I hope. I think, in my opinion, this doesn't go away right away, this whole virus. But I could see life trying to find its way starting June or July.
Matt also
I think November is good.
The construction is behind schedule now.
That's what I figured the construction is. And then Penda Flo said, side note, off of Disney, do you think Universal's Halloween Horror Night and cramming all those people is a good idea in October? I don't know.
I guess we have to see. Or that's not till October. Well, technically it starts, actually, I think it starts at the end of August.
Yeah.
I could see it not, I think if Halloween Horror Nights does happen, I could see them pushing back opening day. I don't necessarily foresee it happening the end of August. I guess to the question of, is it going to happen? We have to see where we're at with this pandemic come that time. Or as we get closer to that time. I mean, they keep saying this is a virus, it's a virus. So if it's a virus, it should respond like any other virus in the fact that it doesn't like warm weather. But Florida, we're still increasing our COVID cases and we've already hit 90+ degree weather. So granted, though, it's not staying 90+ degrees
we
into the night. Like, we're still dropping to the 70s, the 60s, but I don't know. Like, I don't know.
I think Horror Nights is going to continue, but I think to control somewhat of the crowds, they will have to put a cap on tickets. They will have to put a cap on tickets.
Roulette.
I think that's how Universal will have to look at it. In my opinion, I think it would be the smartest thing to do is put a cap on those tickets, and they'll just have to, by distancing so much, put the little clicker, have so many people come in and not just do like a straight line like they've always done and let everybody in. Maybe let 25 people in
rather them done it anyway.
and then do it that way.
But that's besides the point. And someone else, mentioned like we haven't even hit the peak yet, and the peak is different for each state. And I think for Florida, like we're not even supposed to hit the peak till May.
Well, they said May, and now it's mid-April.
Is that for Florida?
For Florida. So I don't know who to believe anymore. They said May 4th. May 4th was the big thing. Now they're saying like April 13th, April 15th.
Which is like in a few days.
Yeah, like that's going to be our peak. It keeps going back and forth.
And then how long after the peak do we have to wait for this to like die down enough that, the social distancing regulations are lifted, that kids can return to school? In which case, I personally, I don't know this, I don't have kids, so I don't think people are going to be happy with me, but like, I don't foresee the kids returning to school this school year.
I don't think so.
I don't see them returning till next school year.
I feel, who I feel bad throughout this whole thing a lot? Speaking of schools, I feel bad for the seniors.
Oh, yeah.
Because seniors right now, this is the time to be living it up, homecoming, proms.
It's like their time of their life, and it's not happening.
And walk across the stage, because that's every parent's dream, is to watch their son or daughter walk that stage. And now you're not going to get that.
I saw somewhere on Facebook, and it was
I feel really bad for the seniors.
I saw somewhere on Facebook, though, it was a good idea, and I don't know where at in the country it was, but someone, who had the same thought process of like, this is, feeling terrible for these high school seniors, is kind of having like a car parade where the parents of the seniors can, kind of do their own parade where the seniors are in the back seat with the windows down and they can wave to everyone, but everyone's inside their house or on their porches, so that way they can still get recognized. It still sucks though. That's not how you're supposed to have your graduation.
Somebody just asked, I think it was Junior, do you think that the crowds will remain the same when they reopen? No. It's going to look like a local park.
I think at least for the first few weeks, it's going to look more like a local park.
It might be for a few weeks. It might be a month. Might be 2. I think it might look like a local park.
I think because people are going to be too. I think even once
people are going to be nervous.
Bans are lifted. I think even once people are just going to be a little on edge right away especially to a place like Disney, where it already brings in people from all over the world. I think people are going to be like a little hesitant to go. Like, I've just been allowed to at least go outside and, hang out with my neighbors, let alone now you're telling me that I can go to Disney and hang out with people from all over the country and all over the world. I think people are going to be a little too scared to do that right away.
Yeah. I don't know. It's going to be a little bit till we see. So once Disney opens, Disney might look good. Just walk around. You won't have the crowds. You won't be bumping into people. It should be nice. It just remains to see if Disney will be opening on that June 1st. Now, that isn't, like I said, I keep bringing up June 1st. That isn't a statement that Disney has made. That is just when you are able to book your hotels. And if I've learned anything, even before I moved, we moved to Florida, if I ever wanted to know what Disney was up to and how they were handling any situation, I always went on their website and I looked at their hotels. I looked at to see what their prices were like.
Yeah, because you were looking at when we would come down for vacation.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, I would look at their prices. That would sort of indicate to me what they were going through,
Don't mind me, I'm just going to start eating.
You're going to start eating pretzels in front of everybody? You're rude. You're rude. So, that June 1st, it remains to be seen. We'll think. Do you think they will increase their resort pricing? Right now, as of June 1st, they have a discount going on. It's not the best discount, but it's a 20% off. I think summer and fun discount, I think, is what it is right now. It is 20% off. What they are doing, they're doing free dining.
Gluten-free pretzels? They're not gluten-free.
They're doing free dining right now for those who had their trips canceled. I forget the dates.
But you had to book it by September.
I forget what the dates were.
Like, because I remember I was looking at the dates and I was going to text my cousin Abby because she changed her May vacation to October. But because she booked in October, now she can't do the free dining.
Yeah, I forget the dates. I got to double check on that. They said if you booked originally between this time and this time, Or
It was
and or
pretty much from the start of the close
Yeah.
to the closure too.
I forget the
I
date.
think it was like June or July.
And you booked within this time frame.
And you booked it through September.
You got
the free dining.
Yeah, and it was almost like the top tier free dining. So, look at that. If you say, hey, my trip was in that time, it's going to be canceled because it was supposed to be in that, call your travel agent. You might be able to get this free dining. You might be eligible. And it's like the top tier free dining, which was amazing
and now
to me.
I'm kind of upset that we hadn't booked our hotel for our anniversary because we could have rescheduled it and got free dining for our staycation.
Yeah.
B-Bunch said I'm more upset that the Mandalorian is delayed. It's delayed.
Mandalorian is not delayed. Right now they are finished with the Mandalorian. They are in editing stages. So they shot all the scenes. Everything is done with that. Unless they are just delayed with the letting people in to edit right now. Because that does take quite a few people to do all of that.
I didn't mean to make you hungry. I'm just really hungry.
See, that's the thing. How can they edit? It depends. It might be a slower process. But the scenes are all shot. It's all done. It's just the editing has to come in, which is probably going to slow down the process a little bit because they won't have all the people in the room to do it.
Therefore, it's delayed.
So, unless they're doing it at home. Hey, people,
I need baby Yoda
I don't
in my
know.
life. Pretzels and hummus. That's exactly what I'm eating.
I hate hummus. I'm such a terrible vegetarian. Yeah. Well, I don't have anything else to add to this, Lisa. Do you? I think we pretty much covered our thoughts, our theories, our predictions. All we do know is the possibility that the face mask. I mean, not face mask. The temporal head check for the temperatures. That's the possibility right now that we are going into. Leaks, do you think they'd let them edit at home?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Even if there is leaks.
Other people are working remotely.
The whole Star Wars movie of what was even the name of the last movie? Oh my God, I'm having a brain. Rise of Skywalker. That whole thing was leaked. Everybody thought it was a joke, but they read it and they're like, oh no, all this stuff happened. That was a legit leak. People were putting out the whole scripts and everything. So, I mean, leaks happen, All right, guys, I think that's going to be it because we're just going to keep full circling from here on out probably. So that was us. If you missed any of this, just watch the replay. These are our thoughts, our predictions, our theories of what's going to happen. The only thing that we do know that pretty much tied this whole thing together is Bob Iger saying that with the possibility of the forehead temperature check. We will be waiting on further details in the next coming weeks, we hope, so we can give more insight to you guys of what's happening in the world of Disney.
In the world.
And looks like more importantly, Walt Disney World, because that is the moneymaker. That is the cash cow. That's the place to go. All right, guys, we will see you next time. Vlog. Thank you again for showing up.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And for those who contributed, you didn't have to, but thank you so much. That is so awesome. We'll see you guys. Vlog.
Benito.
Bye.